I'm starting right away. Everybody, this is cold intro time.
Yeah, I ground scored. Do you guys? I don't know if anyone's ever had like problems with drugs back in the day, but bad habits, you know, like you still check people's. Well, I do. I'm not afraid to admit it. I still check people's medicine cabinets. Can't fucking help myself, all right? I'll take anything, but I gotta look.
You're already in the bathroom, so if you need to drop trowel and figure out a way to sneak it out of there, you're already like halfway to your solution.
It helps you know, you can't really know someone until you investigate their medicine cabinet, I feel, But anyway, on the way home, I had a ground score. I saw a little bag, and I get all excited because that part of your brain is just always there. But it was just crystal meth, so it wasn't. I didn't try any. It was just
ground score failed.
So how do you dispose of extra crystal meth? Is that like difficult to do?
Yeah, I give it to my cats.
Their scratching posts must look pretty insane. They could probably have like totem poles scratched into those fuckers by now.
Well, you do that. Then you feed them coffee beans. Then you go through the litter box and you get that. Those coffee beans that you get?
Right, because labor laws don't affect animals, so you could just have them working around the clock.
Like, that's the most. You guys have heard of that coffee, right? I can't remember what it's called. Holler in the chat.
Oh, yeah, that
Kookaburra
like
coffee.
Death coffee?
Yeah,
or no,
from the bucket list?
It goes through some, I think
that
so.
coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're talking like a coffee bean that
this
gets
weird cat
out.
eats it.
Oh.
Yeah, like they have to digest it first.
Yeah. Okay, so on that note... That's right. It's a greasy conversation. We're back. We made it really special with the Humor Collective joining us. Okay.
Yay.
If you could even hear me over how loud I had the music. The Humor Collective is joining us. Find their Facebook page. Pop that situation a follow because things are going to get giggly with all of the repressed, thick constipation of news that we have to go through. This week we have 3 weeks worth of newsily discovery, fanciful gladness. So let's get in there. Let's get that submarine of knowledge going on. Underwater. Okay. Man, if you had headphones for that part, that was...
Oh my god.
That was intense.
Pure sauce.
Yeah.
Okay. The excitement's real. It's justified. Prepare yourself. Go change your pants and come back. And Mario's here.
Hey.
And
you can do it.
Don't tell him.
I had it all easy access earlier, but until it became in the moment.
Jessica.
No.
Erica.
You know when you hear a name, you're like, oh yeah, of course it's Erica. So you don't toss extra crap to it that makes you remember things on the moment. Okay.
That's probably what people that started naming their kids Skylar were thinking.
But I see the sky all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, Erica, Mario, the Humor Collective. It's real. Greg's here with all kinds of zesty news that we collected over the last 3 weeks.
Barely. All right. How do you guys feel about this? This dude, his wife's having birth in Italy, and he pays $200 to ship dirt from Texas so that his son can be born over Texas soil.
Jeez. And they're married, right?
Yeah.
It's a German lady.
I don't know. They're just in Italy.
Shipping that soil.
For whatever reason. Yeah.
Did you see how much soil they got? This graphic about it. It's so cheesy.
I know. It's
like a baby toast.
Yeah. But his idea is to put the dirt under the place where she's giving birth so that he can be born above Texas soil.
Just a handful?
Well,
yeah.
Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because if somebody who is like a yogi was like, I'm going to have this Himalayan dirt shit, brought over here, everybody'd be like, oh my God, that's so spiritual. Like, it doesn't matter like where it comes from. Like, if it's symbolic to you, and that's, what... you always want to start everything off as positively as possible. And if you could do something that gives you comfort like that, then go more power to it.
Yeah. All right, I like where your head's at.
I like the comparison of Texas to the Himalayas, too.
Well,
it's spiritual. It's a mecca for some people.
I was totally thinking all of that.
Holla, Texas.
What do you think a person from any other state but Texas would do this? Like, only a person from Texas, I
Are
feel
you
like would do
kidding me?
this.
No, dude. You have what kind of sexuals in California? They'll ship. They're like, I fuck trees. You probably get the dirt from around there shipped to wherever you want your fucking baby to be. I don't know what is the term. Birthed? Is that still like a word?
Yeah,
But
why
yeah,
not?
you could
Birthed,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure there's some yuppie in New York who'd do something like that.
I wonder how
Yeah.
often like a kid has been born in a tree. Like that's got to be a way to do it. Like
In a tree.
like where the mom's in a tree, but just
Ooh, like maybe
like
she's saving a cat. She's like, I forgot. I was dilated.
Latch onto the cord.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
And the firefighters there like, ma'am, keep breathing.
She turns into a lasso and actually gets the cat out of the tree while holding the baby.
Yeah. No, she
Girl
throws
power.
the baby still attached to the cord. The baby grabs the cat.
Right.
Yank
She
it
put
back.
it to work
True.
early. That
Yeah, man.
instills good values.
Exactly.
And then the husband comes over with the dirt, like, hey, this is from our house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Well,
Oh,
since you
man.
said it, what if, I mean, that could be a new trend, like, just empty bird's nests, like, big ass
Ooh.
eagle nests and shit. Charge premium dollar for that, man. People will eat it up.
I love this.
What about those like tree houses that are like houses? I'm sure that somebody's had a baby in that. Does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
For what I
Sure.
was going for, sure. All this works. I was
I
just
feel like-
picturing
'Cause I'm
like
thinking like.
I feel
some
like
chick
pregnant
holding
ladies
on
are
to,
like,
a
where
That's what I was
branch,
picturing.
Where hasn't
Yeah.
someone?
where hasn't someone birthed?
Yeah. It's kind of like
Extreme.
territorial.
Like as you're jumping out of an airplane.
It's the
Wrong
new
cord.
Instagram fad.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. Nice.
Guys, we are getting a solid episode right away.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, get ready. There's going to be takeaways. Someone really put a lot of effort into the image on this to like
Yeah.
put dirt the shape of Texas over the
That's
Texas
what's
flag.
so cute.
Also put a baby on it.
But it's bothering me a little bit that there's an elbow right there.
Yeah, like they
Like, if
could
you're
have.
gonna go through that much trouble,
You just leave some
Why
like
I didn't
random
see
elbow.
that.
why would you be like? That's like having the boom mic come down in the middle of a TV episode. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
You have to look in the background if you're gonna take a quality
Now
picture.
what is the stance on this? Because everything has a fucking bias now. Are they more like, haha, stupid fucking Texan, or are they like, this is cool? Or
This is
Given that the
America.
website is called It's a Southern Thing, they're
okay, they're probably pro for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're-
Okay,
They're
then
presenting
that's
in a
fucking
positive
lazy
light.
then, dude. Come
Yeah.
on, come on.
There's
Get the
probably
fucking elbow.
photographers that are trained in like, oh, you want your baby's feet on dirt on the flag? Got it. Like we have the setting for you.
These are certainly not
Like-
newborn
And
feet.
here's an elbow to accentuate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
The elbow is such a
You
fail.
want
though.
one
Also,
elbow
the
or
baby
two?
looks too old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely not the same baby.
Definitely didn't just pop
He's
out.
fashion forward. Leave
That's
him
a
alone.
stock baby right
Somewhere,
there.
Somewhere there was a stock photographer that knew they'd need like a
Yeah.
baby's feet on Texas soil, shaped like Texas on a Texas flag, and they had this in the stock photo gallery. Like already, Getty had
Yeah.
this, but you couldn't keep the elbow out of
The
it.
Photoshop, the
You
little
could crop
watermark.
that, you guys.
Like
come
you could
on.
you could have
Right.
clone stamped this elbow out so quick. Okay.
It's so
Do
lazy.
the feet look? Do the feet look photoshopped?
This whole baby's Photoshop.
Yeah, this whole story is photoshopped.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
look at the dirt right here over this toe. That looks like almost like too jagged of a
Yeah.
for like.
I see green screen. All right.
Southern thing, my
The
ass.
story's been cracked.
Right.
Right.
Next on Myth.
What's the next thing you're smelling over there, Brad?
This dentist in Anchorage, Alaska, who was like performing extractions on a sedated patient while riding a hoverboard, which just seems silly.
Yeah.
But he was convicted of 46 felony and misdemeanor charges total. So he's probably just like a
So he's
terrible
done it.
person
Is there
as a
video of
dentist.
it?
Yeah. I don't think it's a video.
Oh, but he's like on fucking zzz while he's on this
Yeah,
hoverboard.
probably just like moving back and forth. Got the little rocket thing people do on him. Just zooming
How
around
did
the
these
office.
people's teeth come out though? Like, did he do good work?
Apparently not, since 46 people are like in part of a class
Well,
action.
no,
against-
Yeah.
but here's the thing: are they in this class action lawsuit because they're like, this asshole was on a hoverboard, or are they like, hey, my teeth are jacked up?
They're like, so I saw this other dentist after I saw this guy, and he said, "This is remarkably bad work done to
Okay,
your
that's
mouth.
what I'm at. That's what I'm asking.
Can we? Was this person by chance riding a hoverboard?" And then I said, "Actually, yes, he's known for that. He's doing that in the television commercial."
He's our only dentist. Why are we? I thought that's what dentists did.
I thought that enhanced it things. It was certainly pitched to me that way. Like the guy knows
bad.
this looks specifically like hovercraft work. This guy was hoverboarding. I've seen mouths like this before.
Right. I know exactly. This is his calling card.
Can we talk about his haircut for the
Here,
listeners?
scroll up a little bit.
And for listeners and
Okay.
viewers alike, you can see the links to what we're looking at greasyconversation.com. Just click on this episode, and there's a live Google Docs that we're dealing with right now with all these links. This guy's really like one kind of party in the front and a different kind of party in the back.
Oh, that's a ponytail.
Yeah.
I thought that was a shadow.
Okay, yeah, if he shaved the ponytail.
No,
it'd
that is
be
that a
really hard.
isn't that a connector for the glasses?
No, that's
Oh,
hair.
Yeah, it is.
No, oh,
No.
you're right. And there's
It
the.
looks like
that
it's
would be
one
a
of the things that
disgusting
goes.
ponytail.
It looked like a rat tail. You
It
guys.
Right?
did look like a rat tail.
See, you put the image in
Yeah.
my head. You're like, this haircut, and I'm like,
Yeah, he's got a
what?
rat tail.
Mario's
My
like,
brain
it's
was-
like my
My brain
haircut.
was wanting to say, no, I wish I could grow that in the back.
No, dude, you're lucky. You're losing hair where no one looks at a head. I'm losing hair where I already didn't have any. I'm just becoming half
Yeah.
forehead. Like I'm
But
becoming mostly forehead.
As more actresses are coming out with the 5-head thing, like
Ah,
it's pro to have more.
there's some
Yeah.
big-headed actresses that look gorgeous that way.
Yeah, I think I have a 4, almost a 5. but
I'll take
yeah.
all the forehead.
Yeah,
There's available. I'm pro forehead.
you could have bangs.
Yeah, I've got no limits to the amount of forehead I appreciate. No, you're giggling,
You're
but I look
lucky.
fabulous with bangs.
Yeah, like some people can't do bangs.
Yeah, I look like it
Like-
looks like a curl of a surfer
I
in
don't
the
have enough
waves.
face for bangs, you know. Like,
He'd run out of face.
I run out of face if I do bangs.
This is awesome. If you're just listening, it looks. Whoa! Ah! Okay, I'm back. Ah!
No one can hear you scream if the mic gets off.
You can just hear this far scream from the other mics. This is just. I'm having too much fun. Is what's going on. I hope it's bleeding through. I hope you guys are
Yeah.
picking up the fun we're spilling.
No.
Any other thoughts on this dentist? We're
If
moving
I
on.
would have seen my dentist on a hoverboard, I probably wouldn't have been. Like that person's just taking it. They can hear the hoverboard.
Well, it's a little kid.
He's
It
gonna
looks-
knock
no,
people
maybe
out.
not. Kind of looks like a little kid, but maybe
It
not.
is blaring. We don't know.
Yeah.
I bet you he knocks these people all the way out before he hoverboards them.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So the dentist usually tells you to like raise a hand if you feel pain or like if you need a break. What's the like, hey, you're on a hoverboard and out? Like, no.
Why do I hear RC car sounds?
What?
I love that he's like guilty of unlawful dental acts. Like there's a whole category of dental acts that are unlawful that no one knows about. So like you don't know if every time you go to the dentist that they're doing unlawful dental acts. There could be an epidemic.
Yeah, when they're saying your gums are bleeding, are they being unlawful? Or are they just saying you need to clean your teeth better? Who's to say?
Probably both.
Okay, I got a science one lined up.
All right.
The world's first living machine created using frog cells and artificial intelligence.
How did they do that?
They made these things that look like a tooth floating around, but it's like a frog cell with 4 little stumpy feet.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a little bear with no head, but like microscopic.
Okay.
And they made it like evolve by algorithms and grew like a machine out of frog cells.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I wonder.
It reminds me of Jurassic Park, though. Isn't that what
right.
they did?
totally.
Like,
Well,
this
no,
hasn't
they.
been done.
But not with machines, though. That's
Yeah, now we're just gonna go straight to like robot dinosaurs is where we're going. Like robot Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Well, the scary thing is like a lot of cancers, what happens is out of control replication. So if you have something that's made out of cells that duplicates, that normally is controlled, without some kind of genetic programming in it to have like a big red emergency button,
Oh yeah, the stop.
then it could have an error where it self-replicates endlessly. You see this in computer code errors. In any kind of coding, it's a common way for something to error out is to get stuck in an infinite loop. So if you ever see your computer freeze, something got stuck in an infinite loop. Or cancer is a perfect genetic representation of that, like happening in like a living entity. So one of the things people are afraid of with man-made machines made out of cells is if they don't have the checks and balances like in a human, cells go rogue and do this all the time, but there's like a whole police force that like tries to wipe them out. It's only when that force is overwhelmed or distracted or doesn't interpret a certain cancer as being that kind of thing and just says, oh, you're supposed to do that, you get the okay, that thing goes on. But with these, if they don't have that kind of checks and balances system before they're released as like a product, like, oh, these you drink this and it's got these little frog cells in it, and they go track down this cancer and kill it, and then they Harry carry themselves and you poop them out and you're all good. But so they could become a cancer and you could be like half frog cell the next morning.
True.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you could just explode out of frog cells replicating all of a sudden in you if something goes rogue.
True.
That would be a terrible epidemic.
And this thing would just continue to replicate, and then we'd have like these giant Godzilla monsters. We might be seeing the birth of that, you guys.
Some theories refer to this as the gray goo.
Yeah.
So we could end up with like a never-ending gray goo that takes over the planet. That's just cells replicating that we can't stop.
I think that was like the gray goo was nanotechnology.
Yeah.
Like self-replicating nanotechnology.
Which could be robots and not biological cells too.
But if they're, living, I don't know. Maybe they want to take part in the economy.
Because we can't be going around giggling on this show long before doing something haunting in that existential way. We've all got to question the future of life itself.
And remember our place in the vast, empty, uncaring universe.
Yeah, there's little things that look like headless bears that could be in your next asthma drugs.
We can only hope.
I know, seriously.
If they figure out how to transfer like memories and everything like that, could they like make cyborgs out of these?
Yes, in fact, we have a system of putting data into a form of DNA where it's DNA that can't be read by like living things because it's human code, but like a JPEG of your family with the dog, it can be coded into DNA, and then this enzyme can go and uncode it and give us data back as a way of actual data storage with like redundancy and the self-replication that DNA does to maintain data integrity, and the same like genetic like way that it will troubleshoot. And even in because data gets corrupted in computers, there's already algorithms that there's this thing called parity, where every so many bits you have a parity bit. If that parity bit doesn't line up with some algorithm for the rest of the bits, then it knows that that part is broken and can fix it from this little parity bit. Especially in hard drives, a good chunk of any hard drive is parity to reconstruct little bad bits. So between the fact that humans already do that with our data and our data storage and not even realizing it, and that genes have a way of doing it, it's like actually a viable method of storage they're looking at.
So how many megabytes is a DNA strand?
I don't know, but a lot fits. I remember it being like a man-made chromosome could store like a good solid, where it was like, worth considering. It's not as good as that spooky Microsoft video that some of you might have seen on YouTube that was about storing data in crystals. It was like this weird like half a room in a green yard in front of some university. This guy's like giving this presentation. It's showing like this crystal store all this data.
It says a single gram of DNA is capable of storing 215 petabytes, which is 215 million gigabytes.
Dang.
This is a lot. Yeah.
You can do it.
Cool hand on the facts over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I was curious. I'm like, I gotta know now.
This reminds me of the book The Sister's Keeper. Like, they had a daughter who had cancer, so then they picked certain cells for their next kid so that that kid could donate organs to the first kid. And like they didn't tell her, and then she finds out later and she's like, I want to play hockey. Like, stop taking my organs. I'm not my own being. Like,
That's gnarly.
That's a
Finding out
crazy
you were the
plot.
backup.
yeah, you're like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're just like the organ carrier for the favorite kid.
Oh man.
Man, that's that's terrible.
Most likely though, we're just gonna grow our organs.
Separately.
Yeah, as they're
Hopefully.
like separate little fellas.
Hopefully, I'm still waiting for the day my parents break that news to me. They're like, you were the first, but we just wanted your organs.
We're gonna see a lot of
True.
craziness in the
Keep
next.
an eye out for Chianti.
Have you guys heard
That
about
wine? I love that kind of wine.
Have you guys heard about CRISPR?
No.
So CRISPR is a technique to where you can edit DNA, and then you can remove like problems with like DNA related illnesses that we know exactly what change in the DNA causes that illness are on the way out due to this technique becoming more and more affordable. It's already like in little labs all over the country
Cool.
and starting to be used to treat things.
Nice.
And it's like literal just DNA editing. Like,
That's
Was-
basically.
Gattaca, right?
yeah, like straight up.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, should we do? Is it already time to
Already Bob Thornton
pay
hour.
them bobs?
Yeah, we got some quick Bob Thorntons. We got all fresh, juicy, new S. Preston Esquires to pay this episode. Prepare, because sorry, do it.
This is a potter's field. When people can't pay for their funerals, they are buried here. It is a lonely, desolate place, littered with unmarked headstones. No one visits. No one leaves flowers. But it doesn't have to be that way. For as low as $1 a day, you can ensure your family will have the money to pay your funeral expenses. We offer burial insurance plans that pay up to $30,000. Considering the average funeral costs more than $10,000, that's peace of mind for your family. There are no medical exams, your rates won't increase, and your policy cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Call now to get approved in minutes and ensure your final resting place is more than just a pauper's grave in a potter's field.
800-308-6964. 800-308-6964. 800-308-6964. That's 800-308-6964. Paid for by Final Expense Direct.
Listen up. The soap you shower with, it's you probably haven't even questioned what bar of soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. They're still using whatever bar their mommy bought for her little man. Is that what you want? To smell like mama's little man? Now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who open the pickle jar on the first try. Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. Dare I say, soft. You want to smell like the forest? Boom. Pine tar, we've got you. You want to smell like the sea? Boom, nautical sage, we've got you. You want to smell like you just got off a boat in the Caribbean? Boom, bay rum, we've got you. We ship it right to your door. And with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, if it's not the best bar of soap you've ever used, it's on us. Tens of thousands of men already subscribe, which means that every month, fresh new bars of Squatch show up at their door. Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. Real soap for real men.
Hey guys, to subscribe to Dr. Squatch, visit RadioVegas.rocks and click on the banner. What is Jesse Ray's Barbecue? Well, it's a tiny, unassuming place with a modest menu of platters, sandwiches, and house-made sauces. Located at 5611 South Valley View. By the smell alone, you're going to know you're in the right place. Come try the award-winning slow-smoked ribs, chicken, pulled pork, hot links, and brisket. The sauce is also something to talk about, as you will want to eat it with every bite. Here's a tip. Their sauces are available for purchase. When people ask you, how do you like Jesse Ray's Barbecue? You'll say, like most people I know, I don't like it, I love it. Jesse Ray's Barbecue is 100% legit. Stop on by for a meal that will satisfy your barbecue-loving lips. Mention RadioVegas.rocks for 10% off your order. Jesse Ray's, located at 5611 South Valley View on the corner of Valley View and Russell. Come in, take a bite, find out why they're so award-winning.
Be
sure to get your mix of music
15
listened to us
seconds.
with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App
Just
Store.
grab 'em casually.
And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
That app, though, yeah. Here's the thing. If you were thinking you'd be all clever and fast forward to like this moment and avoid a secret advertised message, well, you got one more little piece coming because the app. Go to RadioVegas.rocks, grab that app. It's a great way to listen to all the magic, like the show before ours, which was Hit Me Up Vegas. Hit Me Up Vegas is another thing that you could pop a like on Facebook if you're willing to burn that little calorie for us. And because it's a great podcast to check out in its new whole slot just before us, the 2 hours before. So we're 4 to 6, so 2 p.m. Sundays. Tune in early for Hit Me Up Vegas. So now we're back. It's Greasy Conversation on RadioVegas.rocks with the Humor Collective, which is another gummy bear filled.
Worms.
Yeah, worms.
They're so good.
More about the worms.
So
They are superior for some reason.
The octopus is kind of fun sometimes.
Ooh, sharks, because they have like a creamy
Coconut.
underneath. Yeah.
Whoa.
The belly of the shark is the best part.
You guys had octopus gummies?
No.
That
Any
sounds
kind
so
of gummy.
fun with like tendrils going around.
I'm sure they have them at like the local store.
Guys, I got tendril excitement.
Sure, there's an anime page for that.
Oh yeah. Tell
Plenty.
me.
If not, we can
And
create
a
one.
Pornhub channel.
It's all about
Multiple.
the thing is you want to search for consenticles. Because I like the ones where just everyone's on board.
Because rapesicles aren't fun for anybody.
No.
Yeah, no.
And icicles are dangerous. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
It's 2020. Why do animated monsters need to be forcing anything? We can live in harmony with our animated monsters.
But don't they get killed at the end anyways?
No.
So like
these
justice is served. It's a good like emotional plot
Whoever
line.
finishes the video.
I have one. I shit you not. Where there's a panel where the monster like puts on a fedora and takes a briefcase and goes to work and like pops a little salute. Like, I'm gonna go handle some household business. I'll pick up some dry cleaning too on the way back. Where it's like. They've got a domestic lifestyle.
That's pretty
Yeah.
thoughtful, though.
Yeah.
That's
like,
cool. That's pretty
maybe
funny.
they're into role playing, you know?
Yeah, right.
It's beautiful to
hilarious.
see like how one's tastes like mature as they grow up. And I'm like, oh, I want to see the monster bring the mail in from the curb. And yeah, oh, that's polite. Oh, he throws down his coat because there's a puddle for her to walk over.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, men don't do that anymore.
And it covers a lot of the puddle because he's got 8 arms.
Yeah. So the coat's really expensive to replace too.
Right.
So it really means something
Absolutely.
extra. That's where my heart's extra, and I'm like, oh man, that coat must have cost him so much more than some lame human porn dude. That's why it's better.
The rate's higher for sure.
Well, plus, here's a hot tip. If you're looking for still images of anime porn and you search for feet, you might not think you're a foot person, but the artists that put the most effort into the feet put the most effort into the whole rest of the image usually. So it's not, you notice like a lot of fly-by-night wannabe manga hentai drawers, they'll leave the feet out of the frame. Hands even lots of times.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
so
that's the
lazy.
hardest thing.
Yeah, so they're just milling that stuff. It's just some some farm. You want to find the real artists, you look for hentai feet. You'll be surprised.
Interesting.
I mean, I've even done that in my art where I'm like, no, the hand's like this. Like, I don't want to draw the fingers.
People don't need hands.
I have drawings that
anymore.
have no hand. They're just I just didn't draw them because
Yeah.
like, fuck
They're
that.
just
I think if it's something that's about story though, like something that's for clothed entertainment, just draw rectangles because it's all about what the characters are doing, and like lots of times a lot of my favorite comics are more dialogue based anyway, so
Okay.
it's okay if you don't go full hand if they're talking about funny stuff.
Right.
Now,
That's my message to artists.
Is it acceptable to have the 4 fingers in a manga?
I don't
You know,
count fingers.
I feel like
Okay.
that's
Yeah, I'm not-
cartoonists being like, no, I'm not. I can draw hands.
Well, sometimes it's hoofs.
Okay, true.
All right. This article is cracking me up. This comparison because I haven't thought of the movie Hellraiser since I was a kid. It was like the last time I watched it, and this is about this woman bought a pair of sunglasses, and her review, she compares herself to this character from Hellraiser, whose name is Butterball, which makes it even hilarious.
Okay.
And
Oh man,
Yeah.
how do I find this one, Greg?
it's on AV Club.
Because
Where
like,
a woman returned. It's pretty close to the top, I think.
oh my gosh, because I saw this earlier and I was like, what the heck?
I saw the
Did he
movie
put
like
this?
once forever ago. I wouldn't even know which one Butterball is.
Yeah,
Review.
now that I see the
Yeah.
picture, I know. Yeah, that's true.
Come on, Boz. I need you here.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's below.
gosh.
It's below. Y'all done fucked up now. It's the link below that.
Gotcha. Find occurred.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you see this, you'll be like, oh. Wait, hold on. We've got to
Maybe
load
if you've
this.
seen Hellraiser before, it's very blurry to me, but
Okay.
right, this character who's
She identifies as this person?
No,
yeah
she,
with
she
this
returned-
pair of
Now see her in the sunglasses.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're
I mean,
round
yes, but like she still looks cute. You don't need to return those.
circular lenses, but there's an extra curved lens on either side to cover up that side situation.
Okay.
Like if you're welding and you don't want sparks to hit that side eye. And he looks like he's made of sweaty wrinkles.
yeah,
He's
they
just
were
a
like
pile of neck rolls.
they were like yeah, he was like the neck roll demon.
He's pretty moist too.
Yeah.
Glistening.
Like Butterball's the
Extremely
perfect
moist.
name because that does look like a naked turkey. Like
Yeah, for sure.
It does, yeah.
As a head.
Yeah.
So the audio listeners, as opposed to those video listeners,
yeah,
then that's
Picture-
I think you got enough
a Butterball turkey,
as a head.
With the shades
That's
on.
into
yeah.
BDSM.
but it's outside.
It
Yeah,
has
I like the
6 shades.
BDSM Butterball turkey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's wearing leather.
Yeah,
Moist
they're all into
leather.
it.
All this makes the shades
Yeah.
cool. All right, what's the next one biting at you?
All
We've
right,
got
this is
extra huge ones today.
yeah, this one is just really fucked up, but we're gonna do it because we gotta do fucked up shit sometimes. So, a family took their cat to get a rabies vaccine, and the vet accidentally euthanized the cat.
Oh, was this in Las Vegas?
It was the rabies.
No, it was in Texas.
Why is there
So,
a
like,
video?
the
What?
anesthesia?
Oh,
Yeah.
why is there? Oh,
No,
is
it's what
this
they
a
use when
video
they,
of a cat
put cats
drinking
down.
from a
Yeah.
faucet?
Did they get the wrong cat for the wrong visit? Did they like?
They mixed them up.
Maybe. Yeah, it just says that after they left the doctor for the cat was supposed to be given a rabies vaccine on their way home. The vet called them and said, "You need to bring the cat back because we accidentally euthanized it." So
Oh, dang.
That's
yeah,
sad.
it's terrible.
But your visit is free.
Okay, it's not so bad. Like, and these people handled it really well. Cause like if this happened to my cat, I would just like fucking burn the place down. I'd
We-
be like,
Yeah, I'd be
"That's it."
protesting outside the vet thing, being like, "They might kill your pet. You sure you
know.
want to come here?"
No, I'm going straight to arson.
Yeah.
I'd feel that way about it if it was a dog.
What
Right.
I do is I take a beard trimmer because it's not as wide as a regular hair trimmer, and I put one ring around the center of the belly, so no one's mixing up my cat with any of those other cats in there. Oh, it's the one with the ring. Yeah, old bald ring.
I just like glued a
just-
briefcase handle to the back of mine. He loves it.
That's it.
That's awesome. God dang it.
We should sell that as a product. It's like 2 collars with a briefcase handle on them. Like here, you just put these 2 collars around your cat
Harness,
torso.
yeah.
Briefcase cat.
Cat
Yeah, I
handle.
like it, man.
Business in the front.
Right.
Oh man, holler in the comments if you have a cat that's lazy enough to put up with that, because that would be a sweet video at least. And my cat would not.
Oh
Would
no,
have
yeah,
nothing
my
to do.
cats would.
You have none of yours are old enough for that, right?
No.
You want to get them old and fat.
Okay.
Then that's when they need a handle anyway.
Yeah,
Oh.
true.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an untapped market.
I promised takeaways from this episode, and I feel like we're delivering.
Oh
Agreed.
yeah. All right. I did want to dive into this this guy's attempt to rob a store.
Yes.
I don't know what it is that he's trying to rob, but he comes in and tries to pull out the gun.
Oh, and now he's trying to get the gun, but he gave up.
Yeah, he tries to pull it out of his waistband, and it slips out of his hand and falls behind the counter.
So the link is in the news notes, greasyconversation.com.
And then he tries to jump over the counter, and he can't.
No.
And then so he just panics and leaves.
I like how he
And then his
jump
pants
kicked.
almost fall down.
Yeah, and his pants are like
love how-
down his knees
Did
as he's
he
leaving.
really need to jump kick the door though? Like,
Yeah, right.
you
That's
know, he's
adrenaline,
in full.
man.
You're right. He's in full blown panic mode.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Hi-ya!
That's like his last statement of rebellion. He's like, F this place.
He can't jump over the counter without banging his knee on it and like kind of fat tumbling back the other way. So he has to reclaim his dignity by like drop kicking the door open. Like he jumps and then kicks the door open and runs out of.
I think he stopped because he saw that she grabbed it.
Yeah,
'Cause if
yeah.
you
Oh, yeah.
watch him, like he looks and then he's like right here, boom.
Yeah, she
She's
definitely
like,
grabs it.
Oh shit, she's got it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Boom.
So she probably has it now, and he's like,
Yeah, that's when he.
But then you
knows.
see her and she's like, she picked it up by the barrel like she was about to whack
like
him with
safety scissors.
it.
Like,
And not like she was going to shoot him.
She was smart. She didn't run with him.
But he saw, oh no, the other person has the gun. They might use it.
Right.
Oh my
And
gosh.
his pants falling down.
Yeah,
at
his
the end.
pants
It's
are
just-
falling down as
He's
he's
having a
running out the
bad
door.
day.
Yeah.
There's just so many things in order that are hilarious about this.
That's a
The,
fun
the way
video.
he pulls it out, and he's not holding it very tightly, and it just flops
Yeah,
out of his
just,
hand, tumbles over.
Oh man.
Oh man, it's just, it makes you feel great.
Why wouldn't you already have your hands on the gun? Like.
He's like peeling it out of the pocket. All.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's trying to be slick. I don't know.
You're not gonna be at one point, you know.
And you know,
He's
at
like,
least,
oh no, this shit's going viral. He's like, I'm gonna do this fucking pimp.
Have they caught the guy?
I don't know. We just found,
That looks
we
like
just
pretty
find art.
specific, like sweatshirt. It looks like
Yeah.
a college.
I think they could find
Shirt.
him.
well, we know he doesn't have. He's got one less gun. So.
Yeah. Thank God. I wonder like how many times he's done this and like dropped the gun each time.
It flings out of his pocket over the counter. It's
And
just
he's
the
wearing
worst.
grip gloves too.
Yeah,
Like that should
that's
not
what's
have.
great. I wonder if he like keeps going to the same guy to buy a gun. He's like, yo man, I need another gun.
That's probably why he dropped it. Is the gloves.
He's like, I dropped that gun, man. I need another one. Can you throw me a gun?
So this is why you have to practice, guys. If you're gonna rob,
Right?
wear the gloves that you're practicing. You know,
Yeah.
don't practice with bare hands.
Use the latex one.
These gloves look a little
Yeah.
big on this old tiny hand fella too. I have to say. I see some extra fingertip flopping over on there. Tiny-handed criminals.
All right. Oh, I found this this fun article. This will be interesting. So, apparently, it turns out that people have, like the majority of people, have an internal monologue, and that's like their normal mode of thinking. And it turns out that some people don't have that,
Wow.
and some people have really like just a constant inner voice. Some people like half and half, where it's more just abstract thoughts about things.
I was tripped out to discover a few years ago that not everyone has like a soundtrack going in the background most of the time.
What's your soundtrack?
Yeah, there's
You
like
sing it?
there's like background music going on lots of times. It'll be like, hey, stupid, hang on.
Damn. So what?
That's just right now.
Yeah. So what are you
I have
guys?
to listen for it. If I'm listening to other people, I'm distracted.
I'm still trying to
I'm here.
understand it. So, as in some people's thoughts are like sentences they hear, and some people just have abstract, nonverbal thoughts that have to.
I think most
have to
people have both
consciously
at
verbalize.
some point.
So, what
Yeah.
is this like? Okay, are they talking about people with Tourette's?
Like, how often do you
No.
talk to yourself
So
as
much.
in
And
language?
she's judgy.
Okay, so rather
Or
than,
do you just
so rather than being able to sit back and think, you just blurt things out like.
No, they have. So like some people will just have a. Either you're thinking about what you're doing, or you're mentally verbalizing things you're doing or things you plan to do. But some people just have.
People who think out loud.
Yeah, do you think
but
out
they
loud
don't have to like
silently?
actually.
Never mind.
I no. I think then that last sentence is not accurate because I always know when somebody's thinking out loud. Because I'm like, what?
But how much of
You
your
sound like a crazy person.
I know.
What are
I
you
hate when someone walks in on you talking to yourself. And they don't tell you. They sit there, get popcorn.
Well, how much of your silent dialogue is in language, in actual speech that you're having with yourself silently, and how much of it is more like watching your hands do stuff, or just thinking of the abstract
50-50.
concept of? Yeah, I think it happens both ways. I feel like I try to more often talk to myself and pull out of like autopilot than to get like focus in a moment. Like, okay, I'm going to talk you through this so you won't be bored and wandering off and not doing it. It's like a way of taking control.
Do you ever do multiple characters as a way to like think about things?
It's usually 2, very rarely 3, but almost always 2 now. And I discovered that for the first time on a mushroom trip. And I was like, oh, hey, it was just 2 copies of me, and they were like buddies. Like, oh, we should talk more, right? Like, yeah, I promise after this, I'm going to like take moments to just chat and catch up with you more often.
Well, I always think
that talk with myself.
That's interesting.
I always think of everything as like a pro and a con. Like whatever it is, like no matter how biased I might be in that initial decision, I try to think of like 3 pros and 3 cons for every situation before I make like a judgment to it. And I feel like it gives me like a bigger spectrum. But like I do that all that internally.
That's a good idea. I like to do trial and error.
Well, it's a
that
process.
didn't work, and then you're like, nope, got it.
It's a process. I get
Some
it.
people don't do the half of that where they just do it over again extra too. At least you're taking notes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And then it also turns out some people aren't able to visualize things in their mind. So you always hear about, the mind's eye or whatever. And some people thought it was just a metaphor. Like people who don't have it, it's an actual condition. I thought people were talking about it just as a metaphor, but it turns out some people can't.
At all?
Yeah,
But
they just have like no inner...
Can there be also varying degrees? Because there will be times where I'm thinking of something and I just can't like visualize it just yet. But like then there's other times where I'm just like sitting there and boom, it comes to me. It's like, are there varying degrees, or is it just like
I
either you got
definitely
it or
think
you
that's the
don't?
case. No, I think it's like all of the above. Like there are some people who just don't have it, and there's some people that
Freaks.
it's on all like strong all the time, and then there's probably a big middle area where it's like comes and goes in strength.
Giggity.
Yeah.
I just found out that most people, when they have ginger, it's not burning tasting to them.
It burns you?
Yeah, it turns out I have a ginger allergy. I didn't know.
I'm allergic to
I just
cherries.
put it together because like whenever I have something with ginger in it, it's like all burny, like spicy, and I just thought it was supposed to be like spicy.
Does it go away?
Yeah, it's not good though. It's not like it just tastes like there's all of a sudden something hot in there. Like, why is this smoothie hot? Like,
why can't I breathe?
There's ginger in it. It's supposed to be good for you. Like, why does it have to be so spicy to be good for me?
Because ginger's like my favorite part of sushi is that like cleansing thing, the pickled ginger.
Yeah.
And it is kind of spicy, but not like enough.
No, this is
not
burny.
Painful.
Yeah, this is significant. Sour cream does that too. And so only like not too long ago discovered that other people didn't think sour cream was spicy. It's so spicy to me.
Hold on.
Salsa is spicy, just so you know.
No, sour cream.
Sour cream.
Just have
I know, but
sour cream.
Oh my god, that's like supposed to soothe the burn from the salsa,
where it
and
causes
that's not
burn
helping
for me.
you.
Yeah, and like a little bit of where the throat closes up just a touch.
Yeah, wow.
Nothing too crazy. So I just thought, wow, these people like live dangerously. Wow. It's like it's spice on spice with this sour cream on here too. You people are crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, I only put it together like a few years ago.
There's people that cilantro tastes like soap.
Yeah, that's another
It's
one.
like a certain gene expression, and cilantro just tastes like soap. Like dish
I would
soap to them.
hang myself. I love cilantro.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I put it on everything.
Yeah, I love it too. It tastes like a yummy plant.
That I fry up Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got that plant situation for me. It's not soapy. Unless I should taste soap, though, and find out if soap tastes like cilantro to me.
Taste soap.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
That used to be the thing, like, hey, you cussed, go eat soap or whatever.
I'll
Yeah,
take
hold-
it back.
Yeah.
Man,
I never did. My mom never did that.
no.
She would throw us in the shower and turn the water on fully clothed.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
All right.
That's funny though.
All right. Did you guys ever have to stand in the corner?
No.
Yes.
Man, I had
I've
to
done
like
a
stand. I had to
corner
stand in the corner and look up
Oh,
for like
Damn.
hours.
wow.
Yeah, man.
How's
Parents
your
were crazy.
posture?
What's that?
Probably a really good posture. Huh?
No, it's terrible. I
Because
hunch
it
over
reminds
all
you
the
of
time.
bad times. You're like, no.
Rheumatoid arthritis at 6.
Just standing without moving at like more than half an hour sounds nightmarish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
That's
Yeah,
awful.
it was gnarly. My parents tried all kinds of shit, but
I
I was,
could
I was
imagine.
a fucking
I love getting sent to my room though, because I was like, cool, I'll go play with toys.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
No, my room was the worst because I felt confined. Like I always like needed like to be out and like roaming and
Or at least be able to leave your room and not
yeah,
just yeah.
dude. I was grounded from like most of 3rd grade, almost a year where I wasn't allowed out of my room except to use the bathroom, eat, and go to school.
Yeah, dude.
Because my grades were down. My parents were strict.
Yeah. I was grounded for like a year in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kept getting in trouble. So they're like, nope, you just can't fucking leave, man. You go to school, come home, and that's it.
But see, it was like a slingshot, you know, because like I did so little that when I finally found out what was out there, it was like, and I just took off, you know. Like I got into a lot of trouble between like 18 and
Yeah.
27.
You got the bug.
What about you, Erica? Were you
So-
feisty?
No, not really. Not until I got my 21.
Did you make up for lost time in your 20s?
Yeah, exactly. So the time I got like grounded, they called it restricted because what
Were
I
you
did.
in Southern California?
No, this is South Dakota.
Okay.
So I went to the school. I think it was on the weekend on my bike to go meet up with a friend. This is pre-cell phone. And then she was like, oh, I'm going to go home. I'm like, cool, I'll ride with you or something. And it's like hours later that we're just riding around on our bikes. And when I finally get home, my parents pull up in the truck. They're like, we've been circling the block looking for you. And
Oh,
they're like,
yeah.
you can only ride your bike from here to the school for a week because this was like, I stressed them out.
Not very bad though.
And I was just like, I had a good day. What are you guys talking about?
My parents would have sold my bike.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, my dad did. Like, I had a skateboard that I like bought from a friend, and I would just leave it in front of the door, like the front door. And yeah, he hid that from me for like a week. It made me think like someone stole it. Like I thought another neighborhood kid stole it, and finally he's like, "No, you keep leaving it in front of the house." He's like, take care of your shit. Get out of here. Little
My
punk
parents
ass.
used to make us go to a babysitter, even though it was like in junior high. 'Cause I was always getting in trouble, right?
Yeah.
So I rode my bike to their house, and I left my bike there overnight when my parents picked me up. And that night there had been like a police car chase that started in San Diego. And they went all the way up to Corona, California, and he just happened to hop in that backyard and fucking saw my bike and took off in it.
Oh,
Damn.
See all the
I was
famous
like,
bicycle theft.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, of all the fucking shit. So, and then my parents had to they got me like an exact, replica, but like the handlebars were like weird on it, so it just wasn't the
Wasn't
same.
the same, yeah.
Yeah, the grips on them were just at a different thing. It just always felt foreign. Like,
Can't get these grips where I want them, man. Just,
right. Nope. It was a
Damn.
sign from God. Like, biking's not for you, bro.
So the worst trouble I got into, I was kind of a latchkey kid, and so like me and a couple buddies would get into some trouble, but like not enough for anyone to find out. We wouldn't leave evidence. Like if my mom came home and it smelled like firecrackers, that was a thing. So we would go in the driveway and we'd experiment with these old boards. You could pull these capacitors off of them that looked like little erasers. Because two bigger ones and you trip the breaker, and two little ones and it's not as fun. So you find these little eraser-sized ones, and you give them power from the wall. I made a thing with like a switch. Actually, we took multiple switches and like a big button that you had to flip all of them just for drama. So we'd do that and the little clip leads, and then we'd put this. Somehow someone gave me a whole garbage bag full of hair gel containers that never had hair gel put into them, just like industrial stock. Like they had labels, but the company went out of business or something. And so I'd drill a hole in the top of one and get like a coating of gasoline on the inside. So it'd be the fumes in the canister rather than too much liquid. And have the capacitor suspended in there. And then we'd blow that up and then put stuff on top of that. Because just by itself, it would like 3 or 4 times as high as the house, like blow the lid or the bucket part of it. But we put it on a coffee can, and then the coffee can would take off like a rocket, but like a proportionate little chubby rocket, like only about as high as the house, but like cool fireballs and stuff. Experimenting with different like lamp oil and different spray cans of different engine stuff my dad had left. So we would just get engulfed in flames regularly. But I fixed up some old video camera that someone gave me, because people gave me broken stuff growing up a ton, and left in the VCR a videotape of us like writing my friend's name in fire, making like napalm with gasoline and styrofoam mixed together, and like it makes a gel, and like writing his name on the gel on some junk car.
Damn.
That's awesome, man.
So like, what's this tape? Yeah, my freaking parents like played the tape, because I left it in the thing. So I was looking at it. It was the dumbest way to get caught ever.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
And it was in black and white.
Babysitter?
Right.
Stupid. It wasn't even in color. That part bothers me extra. It's another
That's
layer.
the best part.
Didn't even have color video of it, and I still got in trouble. It shouldn't count if it's in black and white. It was artsy.
Yeah.
That's not me. You have to like defend yourself like in court, as you can clearly see.
He writes his name.
Oh man, the pipe bomb was the thing that almost got to court time. I accidentally made something that resembled a pipe bomb, but resembled it really accurately. So it was the back end of a metal flashlight, and I cut off the front part to hold just a couple batteries for my CD player. Because it was the 90s and the CD player lasted like 2 hours with double A's. So it was like, these were like D batteries. And I wasn't supposed to have a CD player at school anyway. But the way it like, I folded over the end and had like this plug coming out the side, it just looked like the fire marshal dude later said that they wanted to keep it to show other firefighters what a pipe bomb could look like. Because it looked like just like how he saw one made in like training.
Damn.
So I was frustrated with it because the tip of the plug shorted to the outside of the metal case and it got all hot. I was like, oh, this is a crappy design. I'll make another one with a plastic flashlight. And I threw it away. And this other dumb kid pulled it out and he's like, why does this look like a pipe bomb? Why is it all hot? I'm like, it's just a stupid battery holder. Don't make a deal. I don't want my CD player taken away. So I go to my next class, because it was like after that, I just like split. And I get pulled out of my next class. And they had put it on a desk in this fenced in area I'd never been allowed in, which is where they kept all the broken desks. Cleared everything away from it. So it was just on a table by itself.
All Indiana Jones
yeah,
style.
Exactly. And the principal totally dropped the S-bomb, I remember, about it. I was like, well, I heard the principal cuss. When like him and like the school cop like made me walk up to it and like disarm it. Like take the batteries out. They made me draw a picture of how the batteries were inside of it. It's like, I swear it's in the battery holder. Yeah.
And this was just to keep your CD player longer than the double A's?
Yeah, because the double A's died
so
like right away. Yeah.
You accidentally made a bomb.
It seemed like it. Especially because it got warm.
Yeah.
It wasn't really going to blow up. It might leak.
Yeah.
That's not so bad.
Man. I want to see that picture. We have that drawing.
Yeah. Wasn't much. Looks like the back of a flashlight with a couple goddamn batteries in it.
That's funny.
I didn't get... Now, the two things that they never found on me, though, were the laser pointer hidden in a drink box, which is great, because remember those laser pointer days? I never got my laser pointer taken away, because I just had a drink box in my desk. I'd be like... Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, my God.
It came out the bottom of it, so I could... But then I did the same thing with a homemade stun gun. And I did not get fucked with that year in high school.
Oh, shit.
What I did is I only brought it one day. And then I would zap like a quarter, and it would leave 2 little dents in the quarter. And all it was, you know those disposable cameras? They charge up a big capacitor. And when that's all charged, you can unload it, just its 2 prongs, into whatever. It'll make a big giant spark, and nicks will get taken out of the quarter.
Okay.
And I had 2 sewing needles and like a little plug thing, like little plugs inside a VCR. 2 sewing needles jammed in that, and it was on a little hinge. and it would swing out of the bottom of the drink box, and I'd cut the top of a VCR and folded it around to hold the drink box full and feel like the right weight. So it was tough. It wouldn't get crushed either. So I could push the little button underneath and hear it go and then swing the needles out and put like a big like dent in a quarter. And I showed this to like 5 or 7 people, and then I never brought it to school again.
That was like, hey, you ever call me a name?
Yeah, I was just
See
like,
what I did to this quarter?
yeah.
Yeah.
With that jazz voice too. Yeah.
Hey, sonny. You want to look at my quarter? I'll see you after school.
You want to meet a real gangster? But yeah, I didn't.
Go gadget.
You know, I got my bag searched like every other day for the next 2 weeks, but I didn't. I never had it then.
He always just has juice boxes.
I just brought regular juice boxes, and they were like stomping on them and
He
stuff.
never throws them away. I don't know. Just
Why
juice
is
boxes.
Why does the cop keep smashing that kid's juice boxes? What a bully! This police force is so mean.
Show him your taser.
Oh man.
Fuck with my juice boxes.
Yeah, that's funny. You should be a Capri Sun person where it's like respect the juice.
I know. I've got like a history with the juice. Like the juice protected me. Now I must protect the juice. That's such a good ad campaign.
You should help the anti-bullying with like just bring your juice. That's what I did as a kid.
Juice boxes, man. No one will fuck with you if you have a juice box stun gun.
With vitamin C.
Damn.
Are you thirsty and paranoid?
Or vengeful.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was loud too. It'd be like crack.
How many zaps do you get out of that thing?
Well, you know.
Does it just keep going until?
It was probably 20. Like how many pictures you could get, right?
I was trying to say something clever like that exactly. There's a delay as it charges. Remember how you have to wait for the little light to start flashing or whatever? Yeah, it was that exactly.
Okay.
Just without the flash, instead of the flash needles.
And without the memories.
Yeah. No memories. Oh man. We already bumped back into Bob Thornton time. One
true.
more though. So there was a AV club that was called Broadcast Journalism in my high school, and I had all these broken VCRs, right? So I grabbed a couple of them and like loosened all the parts on them, and I wrote out a whole script, proposed it to the teacher, and he let me shoot this thing where I go to another teacher, and that teacher gives me a VCR to take to him because he's known as like the AV teacher or whatever. And as I take it to him, all kinds of things happen to the VCR. Like I accidentally drop it, it falls, and I drag it by its cord through a doorway that's closing on it. And then I bump into like a second-story railing, and it falls over the railing. And after reading the script, like the school made me put down like wood panels so I wouldn't like crack the cement or whatever. Like, you guys, VCRs don't weigh much. Smash them all the time. I had a couple different like trapper keepers made out of bent metal from the tops of VCRs. I just like bent into like a trapper keeper
That's
shape.
Cool.
Yeah, it was so awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and VCRs growing up. But no
We
one
go
did
way
anything
back.
like that. Like no one made like a little video production in that class. It was all just like news and stuff. And I was like, can I do like a segment? Can I do like a thing? It was
That's
sick.
cool.
That's cool.
Smashing stuff in high school. Yeah, that was the guitar high school too. Everyone and their dog brought a guitar to high school. They're like,
I took my guitar to high school.
That's
Right.
college, man.
Yeah, it was a new high school, and they were like, start traditions. We want traditions. It's a new high school. And I was like, bring a guitar every day tradition? Like, me and like 12 other people just always have a guitar. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But then it turned into everyone at that high school. Like, people were buying guitars just to take them to high school.
Today we'll be playing the G chord, so if you guys could tune in.
All the poor teachers. There's like a stack of gig bags in the corner in all the classrooms.
That's funny. My art teacher used to be a guitar player, so like I had I had 5th and 6th period with him, so like sometimes I'd just bring my guitar and then he'd jam with me.
Nice.
And he's like, all right, you guys draw this is the project, and then I'd be like, if you want to play guitar, you can do that. He's like, as long as you're doing something creative. I was
Beautiful.
like, awesome.
That's cool.
That's hella dope.
Well, not warm and fuzzy. It's time to talk to old Bob Thornton, right?
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contract. Our experienced partners are offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. You'll never pay another timeshare maintenance bill again, and all your obligations will be terminated. You can begin saving today. Even if you've tried another company to get rid of your timeshare, call and see if we can help you. At the Timeshare Exit Hotline, we only accept payment after an agreement has been made to get you out of your timeshare. Make this complimentary free call and learn how our honest partners can help anyone, anywhere, legally get out of their timeshare nightmare.
800-741-8026. 800-741-8026. 800-741-8026. That's 800-741-8026.
These wheels are real exciting and bear my name, Evil Knievel.
Hi, it's Waz from Greasy Conversation. Did you know the pioneering stuntman Evil Knievel, the world record motorcycle jumping father of extreme sports himself, lives on spiritually in the satiny dough and hearty brick cheese of the pizza that bears his name?
Evil Knievel.
Evil Pie, that's E-V-E-L, on glistening East Fremont Street in the heart of downtown Las Vegas. They've been thriving here since back in 2016 because, unlike our hero, it's not dangerous. The flavor isn't even risky, but it is braggadocious. I get the world-famous Snake River special with a rattlesnake sausage. Honestly, it's great. I do love it, and it makes me feel like a mighty conqueror of perilous beasts. Vegans, don't tune me out. This place is known for their vegan pizza too, so get over there. Just make sure you check the RadioVegas.rocks app first. That app will have new specials just for RadioVegas.rocks listeners. Show them the app and satisfy your lust for excitement.
Hey, dudes with beards, I'm here to tell you about Mad Viking Beard Company. What is that, you ask? Well, that's a good question. They are the best beard products and men's grooming company since 2013. Guys, drop the razor, because with Mad Viking Beard Company, they kill the beard itch and give you what you need to grow a better beard. Like beard oils, relieves beard itch, creates a healthier and more manageable beard, reduces brittle beard hair and breakage, you know, like split ends. The natural oils help promote a fuller and longer growth, giving you a little bit of hold, and it acts as a styling agent to keep those flyaway hairs in place. Then there's the beard wash. Not your average store-bought chemical-laden concoction, all right? Mad Viking Beard Wash, it's sulfate-free, paraben-free, offers top-to-bottom clean and conditioning experience all in one, providing a deep, all-natural sulfate-free clean with a rich conditioning finish for a soft, moisturized face and beard, you know, for the ladies. To order, visit www.radiovegas.rocks and click on the banner to order now.
LV Classic Rock is back. Hi, it's your friend on the radio, Dennis Mitchell, and we're back to rockin' and rollin' just like the good old days. If you didn't know, Las Vegas used to have 2 classic rock stations, one of which was awesome, and when corporate radio took it away, we just kept it going on the internet, and now it's back in all its original glory. Streaming live 24/7, it's LV Classic Rock, and all you have to do to enjoy it is go to the website, lvclassicrock.com, and use the online player, or get the free Radio Vegas Rocks app. That way you'll never be without LV Classic Rock, Las Vegas' best classic rock station.
LV Classic Rock. It's another station, kind of like this, but with more classic rock, and it's really nice. LV Classic Rock. You're listening to Greasy Conversation on RadioVegas.rocks. We spell it appropriately, greasyconversation.com. If you want to see any of the stuff that we're looking at, check out our live news notes with links to our sources.
Yeah. All right. How about this is apparently some. I just thought this was like extremely melodramatic. This portrait studio closes. It's like a nationwide chain, but the one in but they just closed down and left customers' photos, all the portraits and family portraits and all that, just locked in the building.
Oh, gnarly, like ones that they were planning on picking up?
Yeah, like it just closed like overnight. So this is a portrait company. national chain that just closed overnight. So now,
And this happened in Las Vegas too, right?
Yeah, there was one in Vegas.
They just left people's portraits out.
Yeah, no, but like in the store, but the stores are locked because they're all closed. So like the last customers can't get their like family portraits or children's portraits and shit.
That sucks. Well, everybody thinks they're a photographer now that the iPhone's out.
Yeah, I mean, might as just take your own family portraits.
I got a friend with a new iPhone. They'll just take the photos for me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you know, it's ones that people cared extra about to pay to have them all printed and stuff too.
Yeah, totally.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Sup, limited edition Koba in the chat.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and then we have a few articles about downloading things or uploading things to your brain.
Ooh. Yeah, because there was this sudden news about like a new technique, like, oh, we've got a way to upload to the brain on Telegraph, the Telegraph UK. And I was kind of looking at it sideways. Yes, I want to accept cookies every time. Give me all the cookies. When are we getting just the universal hook it up with all the cookies? I'm tired of you making me feel guilty about like you're so oppressed with your website that you've got to tell everybody about your cookies. I know you need the cookies. I make my own sites. They need cookies too. Everyone's got to have the cookies. Stop talking to me about the cookies.
But you were the one who was
Cookie Monster. Like,
but you were the one pushing consent.
Yeah, okay, sure. But I want to just.
How many cookies would you like?
I want to just consent in advance.
Cookie?
Yeah.
Click. What if your universal cookie acceptor like goes on the fritz and like?
Yeah, or just not like for not every time you go to the same website.
Yeah.
You know, that's a thing.
It's like, you know, I like your cookies.
Like,
I took your cookies, but you know I like your cookies.
Yeah.
You guys already know. I'm coming back.
You don't remember me?
Right. Oh no, they remember you. Yeah. They just don't want you to think they remember you.
So rather than exclusively bathing in the hype of this, researchers from HRL Laboratories based in California, they say they found a way to amplify learning abilities only on a much smaller scale. And in looking at it, I have got another couple articles and a rebuttal from IFL Science that we get a lot of articles from. They say more definitively why you'll never be able to upload your brain to the cloud. And I feel like they're too fatalistic on the other side. But what they bring up are some significant hurdles to getting any kind of resolution when there's not like already an area of the brain that's dedicated itself to that. What happens, we know, is that a part of the brain will like learn specialization. Like if you have never learned to hear or lose your hearing, and they can put audio data into a different part of your brain, it can adapt. Or you can start to see with your tongue with these things that take an image and put a shape on something you put on your tongue. Your tongue will start to be able to get remapped to see images.
Your brain like remaps your
wow.
Taking
the
that
visual
to a
part
point,
of your brain to your tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, and taking that to a point where you can like learn a martial art seems like it's a big step as far as just data throughput. And that's what IFL Science goes through. And that's why I didn't make it a main headline, because we've got to cover it. It's this crazy science thing that I think that is half hype.
But is IFL talking about taking your existing consciousness and putting it into a cloud?
That's what they think is impossible.
Okay, well, that seems like it would be weird to do too. I don't know, because it's almost like the Frankenstein thing. It's like how human will this thing be, or will it cease to be human and just information at that point?
Will it be just the version of yourself that you have like when you're waking up or going to bed that like doesn't move your body or anything, is just floating thoughts?
I mean, what if that's already kind of what happened? Because like we were talking about earlier, it's been a while since I've remembered like any dreams. So for me, sleep is just like, black, and then I'm awake again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what if your brain just already does like a reboot and just tries to like patch together recent memories, and it's like, okay, this is who I remember being like 8 hours ago, so this is close enough, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's an interesting question.
I remember bits and pieces of dreams. I don't remember too much of the continuum of it. Well, not that there's much anyways, but like,
yeah,
I'll just remember like moments, and then sometimes I'll wake up with those images in my head as if like I was remembering it like it was a memory.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, I don't know, I'll have to look it up. I was like, oh yeah, hunting bald eagles at the Grand Canyon is legal now.
Nice.
That's a thing, right? You read that somewhere? No, you dreamt that. Do not go shoot.
There goes
It's
Tuesday.
also a national park, national bird. Legal, right?
It sounds plausible eventually,
Right?
though, because they're becoming a problem.
They
we've heard.
are,
Yeah.
and I think that's what happened. Is I like meshed together things that I knew, and was like, well, that means this, right?
Today's the day. Today's the day. The Eagles are ours.
So if you guys could upload something, what's the first thing you're going to upload in your brain? Say like the technology exists, you can just go into a store, they put a thing on your head, and they're like, bam, you just learned something.
Yeah, what would you want to learn
the
that's
first thing.
snappy like that?
Downloading, okay.
Yeah,
That's a
what's your
tough one, man.
snappy surprise skill?
Can I pick like a top 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Like, definitely how to play the piano.
Yeah,
Nice,
just get
good one.
Like, I mean, like
sight read right away.
Yeah, or just be able to have the the finger dexterity to do it, you know, because like I feel like I have clumsy fingers, and so like if all of a sudden I could just be like, bah, like a surgeon with it, you know, that would be awesome. Some sort of martial art, because as a species, every generation's getting taller, and I need to be able to defend myself.
No, you need to work on cardio, like speed, like.
Well, that would, I'm sure, come with the martial art.
Okay.
That's my problem. Is I want to just get a physical. I just want like, oh, cardio. Can I just upload some cardio? It's like I have fun learning stuff. I'd rather have the journey of learning. But like, could I just like upload some fitness, a better attitude towards working out?
Yeah,
I want that.
Upload routine.
Yeah, I want to upload routine. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Focus, yeah.
And I'd probably like upload some sort of meditation thing,
That'd be
some ability to
nice.
calm my mind.
Oh, that's a power one. I didn't.
Yeah, I'd want to be able to fall asleep like right away, because there's those people that they just like their head hits the pillow and they're out.
Nope.
And I'm like, dude, I gotta torture myself for like 5 hours.
That's
before I'm
peak
falling
thinking
asleep.
time, dude.
Yeah, man. Like,
I wish I could trade, cause like you know when you finally do fall asleep, you're like, I feel like I have that all the time, and I like have to snap myself awake. Like I love getting into that spot where you're like your brain's all running, it's all happy and thinking, and I get there and I'm like, this is peaceful. How I'm thinking about this fun thing. Like, oh, I can't sleep now. I'm driving.
damn.
So I'd much
Not
rather-
now, brain. Not now.
Yeah. Like I want to trade you problems so bad on that.
Damn. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I want that one. Oh, that's a little too much past the point I'm looking to go.
I'm way more likely to be sleepy on the road during the day, though. Weirdly,
Yeah.
it just makes me think there's more than one wire in the wrong place there.
Are you a night person?
Yeah,
Me
hardcore.
too.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah.
Which I think genetically there was supposed to be a certain amount of people that stayed up and like looked after the village.
Ooh, actually, so my anthropology classes, they're talking about like, through history, like story time happened around the campfire. So that's why like most like dinner time is when you like tell all the stories, because like you've gone through the day
Yeah.
to talk about what happened, and so maybe that's why our brains are
That's
like,
why the entertainment
what if
industry.
you could hunt eagles?
Yeah, that's like an active time for them.
Yeah, like I got you. I'm gonna tell stories back and forth.
Yeah.
Not let you sleep.
Well, comedy shows and all kinds of entertainment shows are at night.
Yeah.
So like,
So I think there's some cultural thing going on.
For sure.
there had to be night owls for that.
I think
Yeah.
that way about also about how many people are born that seem like they're wizards with artistic and creative fields, but if they're not matched with the right one, they just can't find happiness in a career. And I think that has to do with how much more important storytelling and cultural artistic things were on a village by village basis throughout humanity until only the very recent centralization of media, leaving a lot of people with like a natural thing. Every so many people were supposed to come out this way genetically, just roll the dice. And now we're still making the same, rolling the same dice, but ending up with people that like don't belong. And it's part of like a mental health crisis, I think, going on, and finding roles for these people in society. I feel like I'm
That
among
are
them.
too creative?
Yeah, well, I don't think
They don't
it's
have like
simple,
a correct outlet.
Yeah, because I don't think it's as simple as creative, not creative. I think it's more like a certain type of production that they don't feel right, and most of the jobs that they're out there and the structure of them. Like, for example, I feel really averse to 9-to-5s and like picking up project work with art and electronics and technological stuff that comes, but it's not steady. So I liked having something to fill in the gap. Without that, it's hard to be like trapped in like a 9 to 5 in like the same room, and not like it's like it's hard to find the right jobs to fill the role where it's like fulfilling, where I don't sabotage it within a year or two.
Right. Right.
Even if I like think I can like push through it, I think there's certain things that we need to acknowledge. We can't just blame our brothers and sisters for not having enough self-control if that means getting by miserable.
Yeah.
We should expect, if we're expecting ourselves to chase after what we individually think makes us happy, we should understand that other people like aren't going to find the same fulfillment in like stock life paths.
Well, and I thought about that too, because like there are people who are just happy with the 9 to 5 and just coming home every night
For
and
sure.
doing that. And
I respect that too.
Yeah, I can't see myself doing that though. Like I need variety in my life, and maybe that came from having such a restricted upbringing and everything like that. But now I just feel like I need to get out there and as much as possible. And like with music, but like now I think another thing is that there's an oversaturation of everything now. It's like you're not just competing with your local bands. You're competing with a local band in
everywhere.
Taiwan or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like not only it's globalized our connection, but it's also globalized our competition.
The hope for that comes in being less competitive and focusing on entertaining a village. And now, fortunately, because media has become less centralized and more democratic, so to speak, in that like everyone has access to the same level of reach. If you can truly nourish your own village, you can put a village together that's like your kind of people from people around the world and actually make a living with that audience worth of the old things like merch and sponsorship and brand teaming, all these things that worked for classic entertainment. There's 10, 20 times as many people out there to sell these products to. So if the products match your audience and you fulfill a need in that audience, then you could have an audience as big as TV stars used to have when it's just a niche size audience today. But you'd have all of the income possibility to get by on of like a TV star of that time, possibly teaming with the right brands. That's why you have these Instagram celebrities that most people wouldn't know, but they have a cult following that sells millions of dollars worth of makeup, for example.
Yeah. Finding the audience, though, is the tough part.
Or finding the corporation.
Yeah. It's like funding.
And also because it's not as young as it was in the early days of the internet, there's a lot of time that has to be put in, and I think there's a lot of trust that the audience doesn't give until they've seen that someone's like grilled at it for a minute. They see, oh, this is your second video. I don't know if I'm going to subscribe yet. Yeah. Right? Let me see you pop in my feed a couple more times. Don't give you a sub.
To watch this yet?
Right.
Why do I have to watch?
I don't start until video number 7. That's my rule. I just don't even watch any channel unless there's 7 videos.
Nice.
Just for arbitrariness.
I don't subscribe unless they ask me to.
Oh, yeah. That's awful. Because I hate,
like, subscribe, share.
Every creator hates bringing it up.
I like the power of suggestion.
But it's so true that lots of times I don't think to until people say. So anyway, bust a like, ring the bell. Red button. Okay.
No, advertisements work great for me. So me and my friend went to Olive Garden. I didn't know what to drink. I looked at the coasters, like, drink this. I'm like, done. I'll have the cappuccino iced strawberry. I don't know if I even want that, but this is a nice picture.
I do that sometimes that when I have no idea what I want, and I just take the first suggestion, I'm like, yes, that, whatever it is.
I'll stop and think about what I want.
Yeah, sometimes I do, but sometimes I'm just like, so I can't even focus on like what I want to eat.
Well, we were in the gas station the other day as we were coming back from LA, and I kept visualizing the snack and how I would feel about that snack. I was like, no, too salty. Next one, I'm like,
I do that so hard. I wish I could get that time back.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a great journey of snack, and then you choose something you don't even want because it's neutral. And you're like, well, this isn't salty or sweet.
Man, that's the 7-Eleven journey that like I overthink multiple times a week. I'm like, oh, if I could just get that 20 minutes back I spent wandering the aisles in 7-Eleven.
I know.
That's why I get those points. I collect those points in the app. That's my redemption for wasting my time in that place.
Nice.
It's like 2,000 points. I can get a little bag of chips. So more science. I really want to, since we touched on that science one, we got to talk about the X17. X17 is a particle that's been confirmed in experiments as early as like 2015, 2013, I think. But we needed more experiments to really confirm it's a thing. But supposedly, after reading this heavy article, which is really awesome and not too heavily written, but still tricky to get through to find like why this particle is special, a good too long didn't read to throw at you is the fact that this is kind of like a photon, this particle. But the way that photons shine on mass and mass can emit them that we interact with, matter that we're familiar with, this particle is like the photon for dark matter. So dark matter doesn't interact with our matter, but according to the gravity we're reading out there of how the universe is put together, there's something out there that's made of stuff that doesn't touch our stuff well. And we think we've found a particle that acts like light that interacts with it. But like it's light, not our light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dark version.
Yeah. So it's hard to...
The absence of light is what it's emitting?
Well, it's not an opposite. And it's not antimatter.
Yeah, well, we don't... It's like a particle similar to a photon, but for dark matter, which we don't really know much about dark matter, except that there's something there that like create that.
It's loosely interacting with gravity enough.
Wow.
It just has mass, and we can't really detect it. So this is like a good step to doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's been repeated enough times that we can confirm this is a thing. It doesn't have a fun name yet, but right now
X17's cool.
it's all right.
Yeah.
You have all these like Higgs and strange and charmed quarks, and then X17.
Well, I'm sure
Like a Powerpuff.
after right. Well, after some point, like, I mean, if you discover, there's got to be days where there's also like, I don't get, X17, whatever. Yeah, cool. We found another one. Great. We have to comb through mountains of data now. We got to like analyze data for a year. Great.
I was
yeah.
just
X17.
done with X16. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
The paperwork team's like, are you kidding me?
Another X.
Like you just discovered a new particle. What do you want to name it? I don't fucking care.
It's the 17th one, right?
Just use the find feature and just like change them all in a Word document.
Bring out the big
Right, yeah.
How about Mark?
Yeah.
17 instances found. Change all? Yes.
Right.
So it's 2012 was, oh no, that's when the Higgs, anyway, it's a fun deep read to get deeper into that, because it's going to be something that you'll look back on historically, like, oh, I remember when that thing was called X17 and now my cell phone runs because of it and I can talk to ghosts, and you'll be wondering about when like you learned this.
Back in my day, you couldn't talk to ghosts.
Yeah, these people are thinking, man, it's just like light for dark matter, and hereby it's like what the ghosts are made out
Ghost
of.
matter.
Yeah, it's so great.
Damn.
So it could be that big a deal. Dive into it.
Yeah, there was a cool, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but there was a cool documentary on the Large Hadron Collider, which is just cool to watch because like that's the largest thing like humans have ever built. Like as far as largest like mechanical object, and it's extremely complicated, but it's just it's pretty incredible.
And you might think you don't or aren't going to be able to understand what it does or what its deal is or why it's special, but it really is as simple as smashing tiny things together, because when things are too tiny for us to be able to cut open them or look inside of them, all that's left is smashing it together. It's like before when you were a kid and you had to see what was inside something, you couldn't work a screwdriver yet. Smashing it open was the only way. And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Like, oh, it had these little cylinders in it. I wonder if they blow up when I give them wall current. And that led to all kinds of fun.
We couldn't make a tool small enough to do that, so we had to build one big enough to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Big enough to smash.
Sure.
Like the sledgehammer that my dad hid behind the washing machine. God, that's how that was before the screwdrivers. There was that fella.
Nice. All right, should we do our last instance of
Wow, it's
Bilbo
Bobby
Baggins.
T time already?
Yeah.
Okay, one more quick thing before we go into it. Attached to this was another dark matter theory that revolved around information. And while the link to something having greater mass when there is information is really tenuous, and it sounds weird even saying it this way, there is value to the fact that if you look at information as organized data, it's kind of like the opposite of entropy. And one of the only ways external from our perception of time to measure time existing in the universe is the speed at which things degrade, or entropy. So if we're these creatures organizing data and we came from simple enzymes self-organizing and finding a goal in the way the molecules organized, and that would create information and the opposite of entropy. So it's kind of like it may be an opposing force to entropy, and if it's a force, can it be converted to matter and then have mass? So while it's tenuous, especially like thin how this article hooks it together, what if there's something there, at least that there's value in information and organization, and just by living and breathing we're staying organized and not just entropically turning into other animals' food.
Right. Entropy is my favorite.
Right?
Like, so I learned about it in chemistry class. It's like delta S, right? And so if it's positive, it's more organized, and if it's negative, it's less organized. So I would tell my mom, like, my room just has too much entropy. Yeah.
Totally.
It's not messy. You just haven't calculated this yet.
Nice.
Exactly.
That's really cool. I didn't realize time is the decay, not the production.
Is my understanding.
It's like that's a good way to kind of.
So does that mean that if you learn, you're adding more information and data to your body? So would that
you're fighting entropy and decay, and you're literally staving off
of your brain for
yeah.
sure. But like, what about like the rest of your body? How would your like? I mean, you can feed your brain information. Is there something you could feed your body that would allow it to do the same thing?
Maybe fitness is knowledge, but also
muscle memory.
It's weird that it's weird that you're actually causing damage and then rebuilding it stronger.
Yeah. So I played soccer 2 days ago. Still cannot walk without pain because my muscles are still like, you ripped us apart.
But they're gonna come back
so much stronger.
Yeah.
What doesn't hurt you makes you stronger.
It sounded so good in the headphones. I could hear the tear.
Thank you.
So that's a good cutoff point to toss some Bob Thorntons at you, and we'll be right back.
This advertisement is being used for the purpose of soliciting sales of a timeshare plan. Restrictions apply. Go to westgateterms.com for complete offer terms.
I took my family on a vacation like the one you're about to hear about, and we had an amazing time. And the best part about it was the price.
If you're looking for an amazing, fun-filled vacation for you and your family for an unbelievable price, keep listening for details on how you can get a fabulous 4-day vacation for just $99.
Hey there, budget-minded travelers. Want a 4-day vacation package for just $99? Be one of the first 100 callers right now to Westgate Resorts to book this amazing offer. Westgate Resorts has your next dream vacation for just $99. Call right now to learn more.
Call 800-883-1612. 800-883-1612. 800-883-1612. Again, that's 800-883-1612.
Paid for by Westgate Resorts.
Hey, Sal.
Hey there, lonely boy.
What the was that?
Dude, down here.
What the
We are your balls.
Hello.
How in the hell?
Sal, we don't have time to talk about that now.
Dude, rubbing that bar of soap against us for like 10 seconds does nothing but just spread around your junk funk.
You might as well be begging us into a dirty mop bucket.
You want to get some action from something other than yourself, don't you?
Well, your first step is to stop making your most desirable place an inhospitable environment.
Trust us, Sal. Let us continue doing the thinking for you, big guy. Go buy some ball wash. Ball wash XL today.
Ball wash? What is ball wash?
What is ball wash?
It's no laughing matter. Ball wash is a powerful yet gentle pH-balanced wash formulated for a guy's most odor-prone and sensitive area. It also features activated charcoal and other natural ingredients selected for their unique properties, making it the perfect wash for balls and body.
Hey, dude, you remember the other day when you were making the bed and your hand slipped off the sheet as you pulled on it and you smacked us really hard by accident? That shit hurt. but damn, it was funny.
Okay, seriously now. Use promo code Radio Vegas at checkout, and you will get 15% off your order. That's ballwash.com.
Hey everybody, it's Crazy Jay from the Rockin' Comedy Show, and for a while now we've been telling you about Nevada's best pooper scooper service, and that of course is M&N Pooper Scooper Services. They're gonna come to your home, apartment, condo. They'll come on a regular basis. They'll come twice a week. They'll come once. They'll just come once. Maybe you're having a big event, maybe a wedding or something in the yard. You gotta clean it up. They specialize in what you hate to do, and that's cleaning up after your pets. Let's face it, we really don't like it, but these guys, they'll get the job done at a reasonable price. They are licensed and insured professionals who are trained thoroughly to clean your yard.
Hey, this is Mike, the owner and founder of M&M Pooper Scooper Services. Call today and mention RadioVegas.rocks for $10 off your first service.
So check out M&M Pooper Scooper Services today.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
Hey everybody, it's Greasy Conversation. We were just looking during the break at this kick-proof TV found courtesy Linus Tech Tips. Linus texts that he sends you. You subscribe and he sends you texts about tech.
Name drop.
I love this stupid channel. I'm on it every day. They're Canadian. I love all these things. So he finds this weird, semi-viral video out of China of this person just kicking and pounding on this TV. And with Chinese people on their staff, they tracked down the actual TV and bought one. It's not available in America yet. And they put like a super thick plexi in front of this TV. And it's actually a brand that's been doing it for a while. That's just not an American brand. And they kick the crap out of it. And you see the color distort from the LCD getting some force to it. But other than that, they wipe the scuffs off of it and it's totally fine.
Nice.
But it's crazy as you see the TV like distort and bend and it just lives through it. It's insane. Cool. It's like they took one of those LG wallpaper TVs that actually roll up kind of and put a heavy glass thing in front of you. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's a quick one. Something to enjoy.
That's crazy.
It's like when people tell you to respect you and they don't, so you just bury your emotions.
Now, how sturdy is the stand on that thing?
Oh, not very sturdy. The stand went right out from under it. So.
Well, the TV survived.
Yeah.
All right. So what's up with this VR from cows? Or VR for cows?
I've got it pulled up right here.
This is some Matrix shit
I really
right
love
here.
cows.
I demoed this goggles the cow's wearing.
What does it show them?
Like last year. Yeah.
Anxiety?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Do they get to see like videos of like open fields and shit?
That's correct.
Are you fucking kidding
That's what
me?
they do.
Just put them in the
That's
yard.
so Matrixy right there.
Right?
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, it seems kind of fucked up, man.
I'm more of an indoor cow. I identify outside.
Especially in Russia where it's like probably overcast and gloomy all the time. They can send them some like blue skies and sunshiny days.
Oh, man.
Man, that is really, really weird though.
There is a vet in Hampshire that serenades cows with opera music.
So do you think this is like malicious or is it beneficial to the cow? Like they know like if the cow's gonna get butchered.
I think that like more study would have to be done in that, because here's the thing is like, so a cow's brain is a lot more simple than a human's. It's not able to differentiate the fact that it's in a separate reality. So what kind of effects is that going to have on like the brain of the animal? Like they're going to be in fields one moment and then like in the slaughterhouse the next, and then fields the next. Like what would that do? Like would they be like constantly waiting for the slaughterhouse while they're in the field, or would they constantly be waiting for the field while they're in the slaughterhouse?
I have a couple points on that. First, supposedly on an animal like that, there's very little future prediction, so that they'll have pain aversion and avoid things that have caused a painful memory. But if they don't have the association with the slaughterhouse of existing pain, they can't like look forward to it being bad. They can't see that. They probably wouldn't even perceive that a relative like didn't come back from it. They would just think, oh, I'll get to be with that relative and probably look forward to it. But with the VR, I'd assume that since I can't imagine there's a lot of other senses besides like wind and maybe how smell. So if they make the environment smell good for the cow, then the VR would just cap it off and that'd be its whole experience. If it's enjoying its food, things smell nice and don't smell like death or too many other cows, and it looks pretty, it's probably just as good as any other field.
Right. Because it's almost like humane to give them VR.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's inhumane not to be VRing these cows. Of course, the harness was adapted to the structural features of cow heads, and they were shown a unique summer field simulation program.
Yeah, that's definitely some Matrix shit, like trying to be the architect and shit.
This cow looks
like it doesn't
adorable
feel like
wearing
news
that.
is like reporting anything more. They're just like announcing stuff.
Yeah, right.
Guess what, guys? This is gonna be us.
Yeah.
In
Just getting y'all
2036.
prepared. Yeah. Getting y'all prepared. If you're not already plugged in, you know, could be.
Yeah. This is great though. Like, if this is at cow prices, man, we've all got to. I want the cow VR to save a buck because you know it's probably like bulk and
Does that make them
durable.
Does that make them free range though?
The meat will taste free
Virtual
range.
free range.
There's less cortisol in the meat. So like if you have a short stressors to the cow, but it's overall not very stressful, then you'd have like less time that the meat's being exposed to that stress hormone, I'd imagine.
With hunting, I have a friend who likes to bow hunt because there's less stress because they can't hear it, and it's just like quickly, and they're like, oh, that kind of hurts, and then they die.
It's less time for them to release cortisol.
Yeah, so the meat's better. It's less gamey, I guess.
What if cortisol is gamey, and like that's what the gamey flavor is like? That's part of what you perceive as gamey flavor is just you're tasting cortisol. Like I'm tasting literally the stress chemical.
So then humans would be like
gnarly.
super. The
The
gamiest.
We would be.
Dude,
That's why no one eats us.
You know,
I can smell the cortisol.
I still I'm like waiting for lab meat because I'm gonna delve into the laboratory cannibalism. I'm gonna
That's
go there.
such a beautiful thought that I didn't realize with the lab meat future is when you're growing cells without a consciousness, of course they can be human cells and you could eat those safely. But people would be afraid that it'd be some slippery slope or it'd make you want to taste the real thing. Like, I'm fine with just lab
And then
grown
you tell
human.
them, you go, no, I'm eating this because I'm not going to eat you.
Yeah,
like that's a plus.
I'm only eating this because,
Otherwise, I'd be eating actual people. You know,
it's saving your life.
No one wants to hear that, though. All right, lab
But that
meat.
sucks because I like dark meat, and that would be people's butts.
You want to find?
I don't eat butts.
You want to find like a yoga instructor. With like
there you go.
Lean,
the most relaxed.
Yeah.
Low cortisone, solid butt.
I like that. Okay.
This is like
Or just-
Sweeney
or
Todd.
just slow
There's
cook
a
it.
song where they're like trying to figure out who to kill. Like, well,
like
the
the meat
lawyer.
pies.
Yeah.
Be careful who gets a VR for Christmas.
Yeah. Might be
Here's a nice experience for you.
So moving on from the VR from the cows, I found just a list. It's a fun list of messed up vehicles for us to react to.
Okay.
First is this little plow fella. Basically, the front of it looks like a Volkswagen Golf, but somehow they made the whole front door situation all tiny too.
It either looks like it either looks like a character from Cars or from Wall-E.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It is kind of cool.
It's innovative.
The side windows look like they're the shape of like the little first corner window situation. Like the side windows are half length.
I love.
There's no door.
No, they
Right.
welded the door closed because the door's cut in half, so they had to crawl through that situation.
I like how there's also chains on the back tire.
This is
Which rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass, actually.
This looks like a car that wasn't rear engine, so I have no idea how this little plow worked, or if it was just for show. But it's adorable, little tiny plow.
What's this next one?
Oh, okay. So this Honda Civic has a tailpipe that looks just like an HDMI connector.
Oh,
And
yeah, nice.
And it has the stick. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's cute.
That's adorable.
I like it.
I wonder if that's the stock tailpipe that looks that HDMI. Another thing I'd like to note on this, notice how it's in the smiley position. It's my opinion that when you have jacks on a device, that the less wide side of the jack should be facing down and the wider side at the top, so it looks like a happy face. And so whenever I plug things in, I always look at the plug and see that it's smiling at me before I plug it in. And then most of the time it works. Not all manufacturers adhere to this, but more often than not.
That's why I like USB-C.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just like.
I'm so excited about USB-C. It's reversible. It's
Right.
the future.
Just gotta find the hole.
Yeah, just gotta do it.
That's it.
Speaking of cars, this Miata, they put teeth in it.
Oh. It's like when you put teeth on a baby picture.
Yeah.
It's
Or like a bird.
disturbing.
Birds with teeth, you guys.
Yes.
If you take away one thing, if you want to stay up late tonight, Google birds with teeth.
Okay.
It's gnarly. I'm not even going to pull it up right now because it's traumatizing. The teeth in this Miata are hauntingly real looking.
But that's
though.
exactly how the mouths look too.
Oh, this person raised their Cadillac on where there's 30-inch rims, and they don't fit in the fenders, so it's like a monster car, and it's flooded, and they are doing fine.
Yeah, they're like, I prepared for this exact situation.
Is there any way to zoom in to see the smugness on that guy's face right now? Because
smug
I
view.
would be.
They should work for Lyft.
Nice. Yeah, smug alert.
I totally would. I'd be drinking and driving. I'd be like, "What are you gonna do?
Oh, get me.
Can't catch
This
me.
is a boat.
Your car's underwater."
This is the one that Ange sent me. Shout out Ange Kerfoot, our correspondent that comes with most of these articles for us, actually. And background warrior bringing us these to react to. This is a Sea-Doo. It's a jet ski, but with a motorcycle inside of it. So this person looks just like they're jet skiing on the highway.
That's probably the only kind of motorcycle I would ride.
Yeah.
Like, it looks super comfy.
It looks worth it to do
It
that.
looks so great. Looks like you'd fall over and just be in this nice little boat thing.
Right?
Yeah.
I wish he had a life jacket, though.
It's probably safer.
If he had a life jacket, that'd be so great. That'd be so
Instead of a backpack. What are you doing? You lost an
Right.
opportunity, man.
How would you guys describe his helmet?
Civil, like army.
But it's
It looks
blue.
like a
Yeah.
Nazi helmet, honestly.
But it's
or
blue,
the back
yeah.
of Darth Vader's head.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like a peaceful blue, though, like the ocean.
Well, duh. That's supposed to be relaxing.
So great. Whoa. Okay, so I haven't seen all these yet, so I've give fresh reactions too. This guy's got like a Model T, or like I think it's the truck. What was the truck? Model A. So it's like a Model A, and the fenders match too, but the tires are as tall as him. It's like the oldest monster truck I've ever seen. It's an old black and white photo, and this guy, the tires come up to like belly height, and it just looks like, it looks hip hop AF.
Hold on, what's the caption say? On this day in history.
In 1927, Ricky Dale Everclear becomes the first man to put oversized rims on the truck with his girlfriend's tax return.
Fall swimming couldn't work then.
Right. Yeah,
Must be some cheap tire.
Debunked. This really
She didn't even
though,
have a say. They couldn't vote.
doesn't this? This looks like
Girlfriend, you mean wife?
this looks like a music video waiting to happen
Promised
though.
woman.
This looks like the next NERD music video.
Okay.
A limo Prius? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, this is a limo Prius.
Looks like a turd. Like you wouldn't have to push too hard to get that out. Like it's aerodynamic. It just plop right in.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't even splash in the toilet bowl.
You can't tell which side's the front.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I love like the explanation too. It says he wrecked his two Priuses and he welded the non-wrecked parts together.
Make a 6-door car.
Yeah.
Dang,
Cool.
6 functional doors.
It's like a
Look
loaf
at
of bread.
the dip in the middle window, so the back window matches the front, is the best part. Because that that was 2 different Priuses, like 2 different versions.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look.
It looks
too
so
chopped.
stock.
It doesn't look too chopped together, except for that little like divot in the window.
But that little divot is in one of the models, but not the other one. So it like makes the two models go together, and the paint matches. It's just so sick.
That's
I bet like when it's telling you how much miles per gallon you're getting, it's like, I don't know why you're doing so bad. Like 40 instead of 50. Yeah.
Well, does he have twice as many batteries now though? So like, would that improve the fuel economy?
Good question. Where even is the battery?
It has
then?
a replacement battery?
Double stack batteries.
Right.
It's got Tesla batteries in it. It's just all a mess.
Oh, that's cute. The second picture with the gear shifter.
Oh, number
like
10.
Overly attached gear shifter.
Oh,
so it's like a severed hand.
The gear shifter is a little severed hand, and the person they're showing the person like fully locking fingers with it to shift, and it's making me super uncomfortable. What did you say? The gear shifter
it's overly attached. Oh, but it's detached.
It holds your hand so great. Just above it, someone changed their Mustang lights to say LOL run.
Oh, that's fun.
That's rad because the lights just have segments that
You'd
allow
have to
it.
look at it.
Man, I can't believe I haven't seen someone do that in Vegas. You've seen every custom license plate in Vegas.
Even ones where you're like, why did it's like random letters?
Yeah.
That doesn't say anything.
This is a Ford Fiesta or a Focus here in the States that has tractor tires on it, and the top of the tire goes to like the window.
That's awesome because that's such a cheap car that like, yeah.
This would be
Imagine
kind of badass.
Yeah, it's all in the mud. It looks awesome. What's another one?
Y'all want to go mudding?
What? What?
Oh, it's just a sticker?
Yeah.
It is a sticker that looks like a sunroof.
Yo.
And so, like, you use that to impress somebody.
You do
and
that.
then they get in your car and like.
You
they
do
probably
that
look up and forget.
to sell your car on Craigslist, you guys.
Ooh, yes.
Sell it out of state, so they already buy the transporter.
Damn.
Ooh. What is this?
Oh!
So this is a Honda Civic. No, this is a
Mercedes.
Mercedes. There's similar tall tail light. So this is a late model Mercedes that happens to fit a basketball where the tail light goes very perfectly.
With like saran wrap.
Yeah,
And it
why
probably lights
saran
up.
wrap? That probably lighted the basketball. That would be great.
And it's just it's snowy. I was like, looks dirty as hell. But I'm done.
This car just says honk if you have crippling depression.
And then it has a
Big Wang Gang.
big fin. It has a huge fin that looks terrible. It says Big Wang Gang. Nice.
The person putting this together though probably doesn't know that that's actually an internet meme by there's a YouTuber that started the I have crippling depression meme.
Oh, really?
No, that's a reference to it's someone's gonna listen to this and hate me that I'm not remembering the dude's name.
Ooh, Optimus Prime on acid.
This is the front of a vehicle that would bang on everything. It's like all chin. iDubbbz.
It's doggy style.
His name is iDubbbz.
Oh, gotcha.
He's the creator of that meme.
This Optimus Prime one looks pretty crazy.
So what's the gap in the center for?
Yeah, how does this vehicle get anywhere? We're looking at a van.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's for like getting into tight spaces, like so that like maybe not. Like there's a pole or something.
It has like two chins to it. It has like twice the length of its head. Yeah, it's coming out the front of it. It looks like it's on fire.
Hot Wheels was like, nah, this'll work.
It definitely looks like a Hot Wheels model for sure.
This truck's really, really crooked.
You just have to put it on a green or like an orange ramp. Ooh, that's nice.
This one, you like this pretty one? That's
was it
it looks
The
like
iMac was a car.
just a very glossy fellow with a lot of wheels. What's another one? Oh, the tailpipes look like a star.
It looks like a star balloon.
Oh my
That's what it
gosh!
looks like.
Someone.
That's one of those. What are they called?
Slingshot.
Yeah.
Right. It's a Polaris vehicle with two wheels in the front and one in the back.
Oh, and they just filled it in?
They filled in the body, and now it looks like a shoe. It looks like a anime shoe. It's kind of hot. Looks like
Details in the feet, right?
Yeah, man.
Honestly, though, aren't you more impressed with people's clothing in porn nowadays? Like, I'm not just interested in just naked people anymore. I want like, oh, look at her belt. It's like that's classy. or like I really enjoy thinking about well-selected shoes. Like, leave the shoes on. They represent your personality.
Yeah.
You know? What is this gear shift they made into like a... I don't get...
I think...
Oh, they tried to make it look like an
it's
a manual, and it's automatic.
It's an automatic underneath the thing. Oh, that's Thanos truck. This person posted Thanos truck saying it's a big bumper, and they didn't even know this was the beginning of a Thanos truck meme. There's some meme cluelessness in this article. You guys, it's 4 till. It's tragically abruptly that time, but you can continue the madness and the article gladness in the link in gracieconversation.com. Find this article. There's a link
Yeah,
to
probably only got through half.
Yeah, there's a ton of sick things we have to show you on the internet in our live news doc. Head over there. Thanks for having us, and touch the evening.